Hi everybody, this is Corey, and today we're going to be taking on Magnus Carlsen at age 8. So, right away from the description, I'm a little bit intimidated by him compared to his previous years. It says, I first beat my sister at the age of 8. I started to spend hours in front of the chessboard and read my father's chess books, everything from Find the Plan by Bent Larsen to The Complete Dragon. Better refresh your reading list before you challenge me at 8. So already I'm kind of nervous about this match. I don't know. We're about to find out what's going to happen. And I'm the black pieces, as last time. So, c6, d5, the usual. And we'll play my bishop here and develop. I'm always developing towards the center. And so far, he's playing a pretty good, solid opening choice. He already castled, and that's something I didn't do. Now, this move right here, there's an expression, knights on the rim are dim. I don't really know what his plans are for that, so I will just ignore it and continue with my own, which is to develop. Okay, I'm going to castle. Well, before I castle, I want to leave a safe square for my light squared bishop in case if the knight would ever play to attack my bishop. Okay, and now I think would be a good opportunity to castle. Now, this is where a lot of beginners get stuck. They finish the opening, and now they don't know what to do. And what you can start by doing is looking around the board for weaknesses. And the best way to tell what weaknesses are, or one of them rather, is to ask yourself, what weaknesses did my opponent create by doing the last move? So this pawn was over there, but once it moved, it left a weakness. This pawn now is not protected. And now I'm simply up a pawn. I could just trade down and be a lot better. So think that is what I'm going to do. I will take this pawn and then, ooh, you didn't want to take back right away, which is probably, I mean, it's interesting because one of my pieces are going to go. But which one do I like more, my light squared bishop or my dark squared bishop? I honestly like my dark squared bishop a bit more. The reason that is because it's my good bishop. And I'll get into a video, in a different video, explaining what the differences between a good bishop and a bad bishop are with some very good examples. I'm just on my phone for this video, and I can't really draw arrows and stuff, but you can see my light squared bishop has a lot less potential mobility than my dark squared bishop in terms of getting around my own pieces. Look at my pawns. You see how they're all on pretty much light squares. So for that half of the board, it's going to be difficult for my bishop to get around, whereas my dark squared bishop can maneuver pretty well. So let's give that up. And now we're in a pretty good shape. We're up a pawn. We're doing pretty well. So now there are no clear weaknesses for white. And now this is a question of, okay, what do I do now? And the answer is you want to try to look for a pawn break or semi-open potential that could lead to a potential semi-open file. And the semi-open file that I see would be good for me would be where the queen is, the file. So if I start by bringing my rook over to c8, and then my queen maybe to c7, and then trying to play c5 with the pawn, it could be good for me. It's something to go for. So let's try it. And he's doing the same. Let's play queen here, just adding protection for this pawn for when he wants to come. But before I advance it right away, I want to make sure it has adequate protection. So I'll put both rooks on the file, and now this should be okay for me to push. You always have to calculate, make sure you're not losing material, but here I have the bishop, the knight, the rook, and the queen protecting, while he only has the pawn, the bishop, and the rook protecting that square. So I will be okay by advancing. And now I will take with the bishop. I don't want to get into any pins with the queen. And here, I could not win a pawn. No, I can't win a pawn, but I can hurt his structure. So that is something I will opt for. Okay, let's follow through. Okay, now I'm going to double up my rooks, and white's pawn structure is suffering a bit. He has doubled pawns, and he's got pawn islands. And if you don't know what pawn islands are, stay tuned for a future video. So my back rank I don't have to be so worried about because I do have an escape square for me. That's the reason why I played the move h6. Here, I believe I could win a pawn by playing rook to the second rank. And I am going to take this pawn. And I am going to take this pawn. And I'm going to take this pawn. So Magnus just gave me 3 free pawns, which will pretty much win me the game. And since this bishop is pinned to the king, well, I can't do much about it. I was gonna do something else, but let's simply take this advantage all the way home. So now we'll start by, let's get my other knight involved. Okay, now we have a check. Now we have something to aim for. Let's give... I wonder what to do. I'll give a check. Why not? And now let's play... I don't really know what to do. Well, let's get my king active. That's always a good idea. Okay, and let's continue to get our king active. And let's get him in the center. Okay, now there's a discovery I could do. Now that the bishop moved away, my knight, once it moves away, now my rook is attacking the king. So let's do that and pick up this knight. He really didn't have to lose his knight, but I am playing an 8-year-old after all. So now let's just try to win. Okay, let's play this check. And this check. And we can do... we can pick up this pawn. It's a pawn, why not? And now I will... Here's an idea. And now let's play that. And now we're in a totally winning position for me because I have so many more pawns than he does. I don't even need my knight anymore, but I'll just keep him around because why not? And I'll take this last pawn. And from here, it's basically going to be a cakewalk for me. I'm just going to march this pawn up all the way. to get a checkmate. And let's guard that last square. You can have my knight if you... Oh, that's true. But now I can get your other pawn. And now I'll have no problem simply walking my pawns up. There's just too many, and you can't protect them all. Sorry, Magnus. It's just not going to happen. All right, you want to go chase my side pawn? I'll advance my other one. And now I'm going to queen no matter what. And I'll give you a check. And I'll stop you from getting off that edge. And I will go there. And checkmate. That was a nice victory. So this was a somewhat instructional game. And I hope you learned a thing or two from it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.